in this part of the map, continuing our research. Then, probably in the next continent, we will be moving more north, next to the titanic forests and the sky caverns. That said, let's start already by the first continent we can talk about already today. That is the continent of Eiwass. Eiwass, the levitating continent. So, first of all, let's see its geography. The first thing you notice is this outline. The Eiwass or Eiwass continent has some weird outline that basically surrounds the entirety of the continent. This kind of floating mist, like I don't know how you could call it, like some sort of this little.
Is this not the story of Turtle Island?
When I zoom in, this thing that divides the oceans from the land. Well, that is not like just some artistic choice. It's actually part of the continent's geography. So that said, we have 2 or 3 peninsulas, one on the east and 2 on the west. It is divided in major mountain chains, and it is actually divided by the equator of the second ring. These red lines that go through these land masses are, of course, the equators. We've seen the one of Earth, we've seen the one of Earth, of the inner part of Earth, but we've seen the one of the first ring, and now we're seeing the one on the second ring. We already seen it divide places like Azania, the kingdom of Prester John in the last episode, but it is the first continent that is completely divided in half by the equator, which means this is probably the area that more reminds ourselves of the climates of like tropical environments. So this is Eiwass, basically, as we can see in this map. So
each ring has its own sun.
Now that we've seen the geography of this continent, let's start to explore and try to figure out what it is really about. Because this map is filled with informations that can be recalled by the name. There's also some information on the continents that is available online to research. And then, of course, you have to make your own assumptions and link the topics of the name with what is already.
So is the plant ayahuasca linking us to this continent?
Try to kind of explore the path we're trying to
How you know?
Recover in this video, and we will start with information given by the creator of the map on the continent of Eiwass. That is that it is the intergalactic, traveling and multidimensional communicative ancestral grounds.
There are no galaxies.
Floating continent or levitating continent.
They keep throwing that
shit. Euphemism, but it is actually factually true, as this continent is
not the way they define them,
but it is in fact levitating on top of the sea, and it is not bordering any water of any kind. In fact, it is made by some kind of material, some kind of rock that is highly, what's the word? The thing like with metal and magnets, that kind of thing, where it levitates because of the magnetic attraction or ejection in this case, and that is why it levitates. It is the home of the Elders, a race of ancient powerful beings that originated from the Caribbean.
You reckon?
Speaking tongues similar to the West Indian Caribbean dialects.
That's why Columbus ended up there.
This can also be noticed by the climate, as well as I already mentioned before. The climate of this area is Caribbean, it's kind of tropical in the same way it is in the Caribbean of the Americas.
Playing dumb at what spirit led him there.
So far. So this elder race seems to be something very interesting. Apparently some elder people that, like, not elderly, I mean elder as in powerful and ancient. Of course, that was to be taken as obvious, I thought. But of course, let's repeat it just to be sure. And yeah, these elder people, this elder race managed to exist in this island and have come all the way from the Caribbean. And that is why they speak these West Indian Caribbean dialects. West Indian referring to the old concept of the...
So you can't have levitating Turtle Island and spinning, so supposed teachers.
Of the West, as opposed to the Indies of the East, which is mostly the areas we would call Indonesia and India, of course, nowadays, as well as Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and more. But that said, let's start looking for information about Eiwass. So one path of research I found connects to someone called Alistair.